Well, I hate to say that I'm starting this sermon with a rather sad story. As a matter of fact, it chokes me up a little when I think about how it all ends. I remember the day clearly. It was Tuesday, November 9th, 2021, the start of a new season. College basketball season. And the first game for my Kentucky Wildcats. They were set to tip off against a team of which we have a bit of a controversial past. A past that seems to slap us Kentucky fans straight in the face around March. That dreaded shot from the free throw line in 1992 that put us out of the NCAA tournament. Yes, we were playing the Duke Blue Devils. Now, this is the type of game that I would typically want to watch by myself. I like to pace the floor and talk to the TV like all the players and the coaches and the referees can hear me. Nobody else does this, right? But this night was different. And for some reason, I decided to invite not only a Duke fan, but a Duke alumnus over to watch the game with me. What was I thinking? I had invited the adversary to partake in one of my most sacred activities. The game went back and forth. I kept my pacing and my talking to the TV at a minimal. And when the game was over, and this is the sad part, Duke had beaten my beloved Wildcats. So, like a good Christian who is supposed to love their enemies, I handed this Duke fan a couple of cookies and I ushered Father Andrew right out of my house. We're still on the plane with Jesus. He has just finished with the blessings and the woes, which, if you're like me, is a difficult teaching in itself. Then he continues with a teaching that completely blows our mind. He takes what we have been taught as the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We know this one, right? And he obliterates it. Aren't we getting a bit out of control with all of this? I mean, it's hard enough to treat everyone with kindness and respect and expect the same in return. Now we have to love our enemies? We have to do good to those who hate us, bless those who abuse us? That's it. I'm done. I've already welcomed a Duke fan into my house. Now you're asking me to literally love my enemies? Turn the other cheek? Give more to those who have stolen from me? Jesus, you're asking too much. Your expectations are so high. You're asking for perfection. 7 years ago, Liz and I were living in Columbus, Georgia. And I was driving up to our house at the end of the day when I noticed that our front door was wide open. So I walked up to the glass storm door, and as I looked through the glass, my heart sank. I opened the door and I walked into an empty house. Everything of value was gone, and those things which they didn't think had any value they were just scattered all over the floor. I could feel the anger rising in my chest as I walked from room to room. How could somebody do this to us? Well, they eventually caught the people that broke in. And as a matter of fact, Liz was able to attend the hearing where the judge put them in jail. Now, I'm sure some of you can relate to this level of violation. Not feeling safe in your own home. It's awful. It makes things like forgiveness, turning the other cheek, giving to those who steal from you, loving your enemy. It makes it all seem impossible. Jesus knows that his expectations are high. And for us as individuals, it's impossible. He knows when he is giving his sermon on the plain that we're all kind of turning our heads to the side and wondering, how in the world are we supposed to be like you? Because that's exactly what he's asking. He's asking us to keep our eyes on him, to strive toward what is good, to love one another unconditionally, to love our enemies, to build relationships that lead to him. There's a hymn written by Dr. David Jeremiah called "I Want to Be Like Jesus." And the first two verses go like this: I have one deep, supreme desire, that I may be like Jesus. To this I fervently aspire, that I may be like Jesus. I want my heart his throne to be, so that a watching world may see his likeness shining forth in me. I want to be like Jesus. He spent his life in doing good. I want to be like Jesus. In lowly paths of service trod. I want to be like Jesus. He sympathized with heart's distress. He spoke the words that cheered and blessed. He welcomed sinners to his breast. I want to be like Jesus. Yes, the expectations are high. Yes, perfection is the ultimate goal. The reality is that forgiveness is hard. And loving our enemies, that's harder. But when we strive towards that goal with Jesus forever in our sight, the impossible becomes possible. Forgiveness, healing, generosity, and love begin to pour forth from our very being. And you might even be able to watch a basketball game with a Duke fan. Amen.